Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. Now Bungie have just dropped another epic gameplay trailer for the House of Wolves expansion, which drops in 6 days now. That is next Tuesday, May 19th, so be ready for that one. But in this trailer, we're going to look at a load of the new cool things we're going to be getting up to next week. So, just like last time, I'm going to break it down for you and talk about all the important things. Now the trailer begins with a look at the cinematic we have seen time and time again. This is the one where the camera pans down the Queen's corridor, you see all the dead guards on the floor, and it ends up at her feet, and you then see her looking pretty angry. Either way, I'm not going to go over that because we've seen that before, so let's get right in at the gameplay. First up, this is the Vex Citadel. You see a fallen ketch up in the corner, and this is where we speculated that you'll probably end the story missions. You'll probably have to kind of go up here at the end, fight Skolas, fight his army, fight whoever you need to fight, and this will probably be the climax, the kind of culmination of the story missions. After this, we obviously know that you'll pursue Skolas into the Prison of Elders, so you probably won't kill him here, but this is probably where you'll have your first or maybe last encounter with him in the story missions. Now this next shot here, this is a really interesting one. This is not a place we've seen before, but if you look at the orb in the middle, that thing looks remarkably like kind of a projection of the Traveller, so that's an interesting thing. And if you look at the yellow banners around it, it looks like it could either be banners for a fallen house, or it could actually be for the Trials of Osiris. You can see one of the banners up in the right hand corner, it's got kind of like a tear down it, so I can't quite see the entire emblem. There are a couple of shots like on the left where it looks like it could well be an eye, which is why I thought of the Trials of Osiris, but it could also well be a banner for a fallen house. Either way, this is obviously a location we'll be visiting in the story missions, and judging by the scenery out the windows, it looks like it's located on Earth. And again, if we cut to the next shot, you get another look at what looks like the Traveller being projected inside this orb in the middle. And again here, you get another look at a shot where we are likely going to be encountering Skolas. Again, this is on the Vex Citadel, but this time you see him dropping down with all of his armies dropping in. So again, I imagine this is probably going to be a battle where he stands at the back. We have to fight through hordes of enemies. We probably damage him a bit, and then he probably ends up fleeing. But either way, this is probably where it's all going to end. Again, here we have another shot of the Vex Citadel, but I paused it because you get a nice look at the Guardians in some of the Vanguard armour. You see the Titan there, fully decked out, looking really awesome, with an FWC sniper rifle on his back, and what looks like a Dead Orbit auto rifle. The Hunter on the left has what looks like some new Monarchy gear, as well as the Vanguard stuff, and then you see the Warlock in the background. Now this next shot here, this is really interesting. You see a Hunter wielding the Scorch Cannon in what looks like an area on Venus. Now this is a really interesting one, because up until now, the only times we have ever encountered the Scorch Cannon, at least from my time playing it at Bungie, was in the Strike and in the Prison of Elders. So it's either something that drops during some of the story missions, which is quite plausible given that we will be on Venus, or alternatively, it could well be that the House of Wolves will very soon have an event akin to the Blades of Crota, where someone may spawn on Earth, you then kill them, so in this case it would probably be like a fallen captain, and upon doing so, it might actually drop this weapon, leaving you to then roam around and use it as you see fit. If I'm completely honest, I do still think it's probably more likely that it's in the story missions, but either way, it could well be cool. So if that is the case, then do keep your eyes peeled when the new updates do drop this week, just in case anything changes in the world. And this right here, this is our very first look at the exotic Titan helmet, the Eternal Warrior. Unfortunately, the camera cuts away before we can actually see the face, but you can see that it does have this sort of Romanesque part to the top of the helmet, and it does look really cool, especially with a black and white shader like the Titan has right there. And the perk for this item, unless it's changed, is Resolute, which provides Unstoppable for Fist of Havoc. Next up, if I stop here, there's quite a lot of interesting things in this shot. As we know, the maps for the Trials of Osiris will rotate on a weekly basis. Each week, the map will be fixed and you will be playing that for the entirety of the tournament. The first week will be the Burning Shrine, but this image here now shows that the Trials of Osiris will also occur on Widow's Court, one of the new maps. I would imagine therefore it will rotate through all of them, but either way, this is now confirmation that it will be on Widow's Court at some point. Also, the other interesting thing here is what the Hunter is wearing. We get a look at one of the Trials of Osiris capes, the rocket launcher, the hand cannon that is on his leg, and obviously some of the armour from the back. Now I'm going to stop it here for a second because we've seen this picture time and time again. We know what the Trials of Osiris gear looks like, but just keep this in your mind while we now progress through the rest of the trailer. This right here, as you can see, is a different set of Trials of Osiris gear. See, the way that Trials of Osiris works is that you can earn the fancy Egyptian looking armour by competing in the trials and then buying the armour from Brother Vance. However, there are also Trials of Osiris armour pieces that drop during the Trials of Osiris, which are aesthetically different. This right here, or at least some of the parts from what we can see, are parts that will drop during the Trials of Osiris as opposed to being a reward you would purchase at the end. It could even be that these come from the reward packages. And then if I pause it here, there are 3 more things I want to call out. Firstly, the sniper rifle. This is clearly the Trials of Osiris sniper rifle, which looks absolutely insane, so I definitely want that one. Then on the back is the Trials of Osiris heavy machine gun, but more importantly, on the arm, that is another even better look at Arekkz's hooks, which are the exotic gauntlets for hunters with the perk Touch of Venom. Hitting an enemy with a melee attack whilst invisible will inflict damage over time.
Open the reef to the Guardians. Let the hunt.
Then if I pause here, we get another nice look at some more armour. On the left, the Titan is decked out in full Prison of Elders gear, whilst the Hunter is decked out in mainly Vanguard gear, but is wearing the Celestial Nighthawk exotic helmet, which used to be called the Exotac Angel Hunter and carried the perk Angel Hunter, which increases your weapon accuracy after jumping. However, in light of recent videos, I do personally think the perk may well have changed and has something to do with when you aim down sights.
Begin.
And let me stop here. Now there's something I missed in the trailer last week that a lot of you called out and was a very interesting point, so I'm not going to miss it this time. This right here is 3 Guardians in the Vault of Glass. All 3 of the Guardians activate their super and then they fly down. Now we don't actually see a great deal of what actually goes on here, so again it could well be that one of the story missions leads us back here, or it could well be one of Bungie's trump cards. They could well be releasing a newer, harder version of the Vault of Glass. Now again, for something that's that big, that's that important, I do generally think we probably would have heard something by now, and also given the fact that you see 3 Guardians there, plus the fact that in last week's trailer we saw some Fallen in there, unless they have drastically redesigned the raid and completely emptied out the Vex and put in Fallen, I think it's probably more likely we'll venture in there for a story mission. Either way, going back into the Vault of Glass, even for a story mission, is still flipping awesome. And that, my friends, is the end of the trailer. That's a pretty epic way to end, but that is it. Now again, I'm sure there are things that I've missed, so if you've seen anything, if you're eagle-eyed and you notice something I've missed, then please do call it out below, because it'd be really cool just to kind of like see what everyone else has seen. But either way, that is pretty damn epic. I am now super hyped. I'm even more hyped than I was before for next week. So let me know in the comments down below what you're feeling right now. But aside from that, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. Catch you next time. Peace out.